Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov announced that the intention of US President Joe Biden's administration to cause a strategic defeat to Russia will certainly fail overall. All of the aspirations and trends we see in the actual policies of the Biden administration are nothing new, even though they are doomed to fail ideas aimed at causing a defeat. The strategy shows a very naive desire to contain both Moscow and Beijing, along with Iran, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said at the 10th Primakov Readings Forum on June 26. It seems that America's ruling elites have not learned any lessons from their recent series of foreign and military policy failures, Mr. Lavrov added. Maintaining hegemony at all costs is doomed to failure. Even if the US remains one of the global centers for the foreseeable future, which seems true, that does not mean it will remain so within the framework of the US-centered world order, the Russian diplomat emphasized. According to Foreign Minister Lavrov, Russia is seeking to prevent the West from posing a threat to Moscow's security. There is only one thing: we really want to stop Western threats to our security, Mr. Lavrov said. Russian ambassador to the US Anatoly Antonov announced in April that the West should abandon the illusion of the possibility of causing a strategic defeat to Russia if it wants to regain Moscow's trust. He added that Russia will not accept attempts to interfere in the country's internal affairs or the US's desire to impose Washington's values and development model. The Russian ambassador's statement was made in response to US Secretary of State Antony Blinken's comment that Moscow should change its behavior to have a chance to improve relations with the US. According to Mr. Antonov, the United States is not willing to realize that Russia will not give up defending its vital interests and sovereign foreign policy. Previously, Russian President Vladimir Putin said that Moscow is ready to restore official relations with the US if Washington begins to respect other countries and seek compromise instead of solving their problems with sanctions and military power. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov accused the US of wanting to cause a strategic defeat to Russia, and this has strained relations between the two countries to the point of rift. He emphasized that peaceful coexistence between Russia and the US can only be achieved if Washington recognizes Moscow's fundamental national interests, but the US ruling elite still seems to deny the reality of a multipolar world and still think of their own unique superiority. Mr. Lavrov stated that it does not matter to Moscow who wins the 2024 US presidential election because Washington sees Russia as an opponent and an existential threat, regardless of party. According to Castellum.ai, since Russia annexed the Crimean Peninsula in southern Ukraine in 2014, the United States has been the key enforcer of sanctions against Moscow, imposing more than 4,500 restrictive measures. Even though America's vassal countries have imposed 14,000 embargoes, trying to suffocate our economy, we not only did not collapse, but also grew strongly.